I've given a couple of presentations. I gave one this morning in the first session, 5A, I think it is, 5A, on conspicuity issues. We have issues with background lighting, colour change, lamp degradation, that kind of thing. And we've developed or use IALA guidance that we contributed to quite heavily on our experience of some of the ways that you can overcome these types of things by not necessarily relocating the aid to navigation, using the one that's on site, a different choice of lamp, increasing the lens area to maximise your optical gain and retain your range, looking at better filter material to get sector edge cuts and things like that. So those were the things I was talking about this morning, which were more sort of reactionary measures to things that have happened that are beyond your control. Whereas this afternoon, I've just come from a session where I've been talking about more proactive ways that you can deal with these types of things if an aid to navigation comes to it at the end of its service life, what options we've got available. And we take a more holistic view of it now, whereas before we would recommend a particular light source that would do the job that they were asking. Now we all get round the table and we look at the engineering requirement, we look at the navigational requirement, we look at the asset management plan, and we talk to the navigational people and the engineers about what they're expecting out of this. Can they take away a diesel generator and replace it with renewable energy, greener footprint? We have targets for carbon footprint reduction, so we're trying to make these. And so my job is to develop these low-powered light sources that extend maintenance periods, and we've installed, I think maybe 10 or 15 at the moment, but going forward we're going to be putting them all in every site in the UK. It's been very interesting to hear some of the other speakers and how they've been dealing with some of their issues and problems on more what you call conventional aids to navigation, how you deal with structures and placement and colour retention and things like that, and then the e-navigation side of things as well. And I think it won't be too far off where we start to see some crossover and what that is going to actually impact on the services that we provide. How do the traditional visual signals compete, compare, mix, mangle with what's going to happen with e-navigation? A lot of people are seeing the traditional aids as platforms for launching these e-navigation services. So a lighthouse will no longer just be a light, it'll also provide you with AIS, DGPS, possibly a radio transmitter, mobile broadband, internet repeaters that's going to cover everywhere. So these old structures that have been there for 200, 300, 400, 500 years will act as platforms for launching these additional services. I mean, I know a lot of the guys from AMSA that do come to IALA, which is our international authority, so I've known a lot of them for the past 10 years. I think probably prior to that stage, now transport is a lot easier to get around and there's a lot more international cooperation. So what we're seeing now is these things flow down from IALA and people actually implementing them. And that way we're harmonising all the aids to navigation across the world and providing better service for mariners, which is ultimately what we're here to do.